5,000 to 6,000 trees per person on the globe. And there's a lot of space for that. I mean, in Australia, they had since the 60s they have developed techniques planting in deserts. I mean, virtually it looks like there's no soil, there's no water. There have to be some water further down, but the forest develops their own water resources when we get it right. And we have a lot of experiences from that, so that permaculturists know about that. And then so we could do that. I mean, another place is the whole boreal forest, the Nordic boreal, as a forest in Alaska and in Siberia, who's dying now. And this forest have about 20–25% of all carbon on land on the globe here. And it's only 1/5 in the trees, the 4/5 in the soil. It's been worked out by the trees through under thousands of years, 2,000 or 3,000 years. It's a worked out carbon in the soil up there. So there are huge amounts of soil there. But if we take away the plants, if the trees are dying as they are now, all that carbon would be released in a very short period, between 30 to 40 years. It will be released as CO2 and as methane. So there is immediately to get planting going there. I mean, if we don't do that now, the situation is getting totally out of control. But we have time to do it. But we have to start now because the forests are dying now. So it's so we calculated this scheme and thought it was realistic. I mean, it would be no problem to do it. And then we have to finance it. And at the same time as we saw that we have to reduce the CO2 amount, and that's actually what NASA is saying. Probably a lot of you have heard about James Hansen's Institute, Goddard Institute, which is an institute, original meteorological institute for surveying the climate when they had to send up rockets. So they have to send them up in good weather and they have to take them down in good weather, things like that. So that was developed, this institute, and it works with a lot of satellite photos. And that means that so they are in good control of what's happening. And they have the last 10 years they have really developed all kinds of spatial measurements of the atmosphere, of the ice and of the oceans. So they have really good, and he was the one who said, last month he said that he think the basis for the negotiations at the Bella Center, it looks as if they should stop. It is better to have no deal than to have a bad deal, because all the structures they are working on, information they are working on, are too old. They don't know what they are doing now, so they should accept that and say, okay, we stop this, and then we take 1 or 2 years, and then we decide what we want to get investigated up to this, so we get an idea of what actually is going on. So that's the situation. I mean, that's not good. But then I came from this, how we could finance that, how we were able to fund it. And that we said that we have been working in permaculture projects for a long period here in Western Europe too. And we have developed a strategy that said that we can do projects where we consume or we exhaust less than 1 ton CO2 per person. I mean, and we have made calculations for this area here, and I have the measurement and the calculations for that we can here, by renovating houses, by changing traffic patterns, by reorganizing food production, by reorganizing waste systems and things like that, we actually can, within 2025, we are able to bring down our consumption, which today is 7 tons. In this area we use 7 tons per year per person. We can bring it down to less than 1 ton per year. So we said that must be the strategic goal for the whole globe. We have some say we are doing agricultural projects, we are doing the same farming projects where we can produce food for less than 1 ton per person. So we said that, I mean, that would be pretty much a good idea to set that standard, and that we all humans on the globe have the right to 1 ton CO2, 1 ton CO2 per person per year. And what we consume more, what we exhaust more than that, should be taxed, heavily taxed. And that means that I mean, people in a lot of third world, Bangladesh, I think they releases 0.6 ton per year, so they should pay no tax. So in other parts of the world, I don't know how much it do in Malawi, but it couldn't be much, 1.2 maybe or something like that, ton per year, so you don't only pay a small tax. Cuba the same, some things like that. So we have this level, a tax-free level, 1 ton. And then we pay for the rest. In Denmark, in average, we are taking 11 ton, and that's without our merchant fleet and without our plane. It's personal. It's a personal tax. So we should pay tax for 10 ton per year, and that tax should go into a United Nations fund and should be used for developing the centers. This we call bioregional centers. And our calculation is that we could start, if we develop that system within a 10-year period, and we start with 10 euro per ton to pay here in Europe, and then it raises up every time, every year it raises 10 more, 10 more, 10 more, and after 10 years we have to pay 100 euro per ton that we are releasing. And then transfer the money to this fund, who would be what we are talking about, a global justice fund too. I mean, that would mostly go to pay people from the third world, some second world, in Siberia and stuff like that, to develop this center and do this centers developed, as basically, if it's permaculture center, it's not just tree planting, it's a nursery, it's a social, it's education, it's cultural too. Yeah.
Sorry. How is this per person? You're thinking, so like me and like you and everyone here. How would it work for industry, municipalities, or people that are buildings and all this stuff? How would that?
It's a standard, as we have proposed it here in this plan here. It's a standard that's set up national-wise. I mean, we in Denmark we are releasing this 10 ton, more the 11 ton, and then the first one is out, and then the 10 ton, and we are collecting more. And then it's the obligation for the nation, for the state of Denmark, to put this taxes into how it's administered. How if they do it according to their tax system that is running now, or they put in more consumption, or whatever they do, it's up to the different nations to decide. We don't compete. There's different traditions. I mean, we have a high tax percentage here in Denmark anyway, so maybe we are used to that. We just pay more tax for that. There are some places that don't, so then we take it all. So that comes that we have part of the strategy is that we have to tax the merchant fleets too, and that have to go directly on the merchant fleets, and they have to pay. They have to pay to the Danish merchant fleet, have to pay to the Danish state, and then they have to get the money directly into the United Nations fund, and it's the same from the airplanes. They are not taxed at all. No ships, no airplanes. And that would provide a huge revenue.